everyone, I thought it might be interesting to you for me to show you a little quick flip through of all of the Johanna Basford books that I've completed. I'm hoping I've put them in the right order, but I just thought I would start flipping and showing you all the pages, hopefully for some inspiration for you. And because I have finished all of her books to date, then I thought it might be useful for you to have a little look and see them all. My lamp is glaring a little bit, but otherwise it's too dark in here. Now, I have completed 2 copies of some of her books, including this one, Secret Garden, Enchanted Forest, Lost Ocean, Johanna's Christmas, Magical Jungle. So I have decided to show you the most recently completed version. Now, if you want to see both together, my son coloured that, he never finished it. If you want to see both together, then you can go and have a look at the video on my channel where I'm comparing both my sort of first and second copies of the books that I've completed twice. But I thought it might be handy just to have a little quickish flip through all of the books just so you can have a look. I think partly it gives you an idea of what they might look like completed if you've got them, but also if you're trying to choose one, it gives you an idea again of what they're like and which one you might like. Now, I'm hoping that I don't miss out any pages. It's really easy to do that when you're doing a flip through. I have done actually, I think it was when I did my new book flip through of Magical Worlds, I missed a page out, but anyway. And now I've only picked her sort of proper big books, so not the planners, not the miniature versions, not the postcards, the notebooks, the calendars, everything else, just the regular books. And I think I've put them in order. I may have slightly got it wrong, but you'll see as we go through. So I think I can still safely say that Johanna is my favourite colouring book artist. I think I started off with her book, Secret Garden was my first colouring book, not this version, but it was my first colouring book, and Enchanted Forest my second. And I probably had a second copy of Secret Garden before I had Lost Ocean, and I didn't really start getting into other people's books until I started making videos, and then people sent me books, and so sort of introducing me to different illustrators. But because I coloured so much of Johanna's at the beginning, and I still colour a lot of Johanna's work now, it feels like coming home. It's her style is so familiar to me. It just feels like I'm colouring something, that's the end of that one, that I'm really know what to do with, if you understand what I mean. Oh, I just put that book down on my microphone cable. That was very clever. So this is her second book, Enchanted Forest. Oh, I'll try and open it. Now you notice I don't colour the covers. I coloured the cover of my very first version of Secret Garden, and I didn't bother with any of the others really. I didn't have fun with it, and for me it should be fun. That's a sepia map, interesting. So I just didn't want to do it, and so I don't. And also the covers get quite scruffy, and I know that people tend to put a film, clear plastic film, over the cover if they colour it, just so that it stays nice. And what you would really need to do, it's very wintry, snowing in that one. I don't know if you can see that on camera. If you wanted to colour the cover, I would say do it first and then protect it with some plastic, and then it's there, it won't get damaged. You know, if you wait to do it last, because then it will be handled less, you might end up with quite a battered cover before you even begin. You know, I didn't colour that, my niece and nephew coloured that. This background is done from a Helen Elliston tutorial. The bushes came out well. I wasn't very good at drawing the mountains. But yeah, my my niece and nephew helped me with another page. We were on holiday together and I had this book with me and I was colouring a page and I said, help me with it. I'll show you it when we get there actually. I remember which one it was now. And then I went off to do something and when I came back, they said, we finished that one and we started another one, and they started that page there. I was like, that's my favourite page and you've just coloured it in. But, you know, you have to let go, don't you? You have to let them, and it was fine. And now it's a memory, isn't it, of that holiday. So it's a really special page. My children didn't help because they were in bed. But my niece and nephew didn't go to bed as early as my children did. It was this one we were doing together. Yeah, my kids, I've always made them go to bed early because they were always early risers, as am I. So, but yeah, it was an interesting. We went to Centre Parks in Longleat. If you're British, you'll probably know. You'll know of Centre Parks, even if you don't know the Longleat one. And it's a rather nice holiday. We'll pull out the dragon. They're both the same, so I'll just show you that one. It's a bit of a cheaty dragon, that one. And I didn't colour any of this, which I could have done really, but I think that's the end of that one. The style of Johanna's books changes as we go through, which is quite interesting. This one is still in a similar style, Lost Ocean. Now, Lost Ocean is a book that I really struggled with the detailing, with knowing how to colour coral or whatever the roundy things are that Johanna draws underwater, these things and things like that. So some of the pictures aren't particularly inspired because I was just not sure what to do with them really. But I got it finished, and it's probably my least favourite of her books, which sounds a bit rude, but you know, we do have our favourites. My favourite is probably Worlds of Wonder. But yeah, so this one isn't quite so, in my opinion. This one's quite bright, quite so good. That one's okay. The scenes are okay. That was a bit of a disaster. But this one I finished quite recently actually, and all of the books, if you would rather just watch a flip through of one and slower with me explaining a lot more about each picture, then I do have a separate flip through for each book. And if I've done two for both copies, and there's also one for a blank one, so if you want to go and see what it looks like before it's coloured, you can look at that as well. I always do those as the books come out, record a blank one. I think there might be, I don't think I've got a blank one of Johanna's Christmas. I don't think I had a blank one since I've started my channel. But those are there on the channel here if you want. And there are also tutorials and colour alongs for lots of the pages from not just Johanna's books, and also same with completed books and new books. It's not just Johanna's that I've done. I've done lots of other books too. As I said, Johanna was the first, but I've got nearly all of Hannah Carlson's, Maria Trolle's books, and I've also got books by various other authors. And if you have a look on the channel, there's this little pull-out piece here. If you look through the channel, you'll see all the different things that are there. There we go. It's Christmas time. I did do the inside of this one. It's just a metallic pen. I was just playing, I think. They've gone quite faded, those. I don't know what they were. I never quite always remember what I've used. Usually I do use a lot of polychromos pencils, a lot, but I do have a big range of pencils as well. But polychromos was my second pencil, and the sort of ones that I learnt on really, because I had Staedtler Ergosofts before, and although I still really like them and use them a lot, there's not the range of colour, and sometimes you can't get the depth of colour with them in the same way you can with the polychromos. And but I do, yeah, as I say, I have lots of different pencils. I try to do tutorials with a range of different brands, so that if you haven't got the one I'm using, then you can, there might be a video that does have the ones that you've got. But also I do comparison charts, so if you don't have that one, you might be able to find a chart on my Ko-fi which shows you the equivalent. Some of these pictures are so lovely. I do like Christmas colouring. It's never enough time. The thing is, I have to start a little bit early recording, and then by the time it's sort of Christmas, I'm sort of ready to do something else, or I might have had a new book for Christmas that isn't Christmassy or something like that, and I sort of stop. But I like that one. But there's yeah, always plenty of Christmassy things to do. I don't think there's one in there. There we go. I think that's the last one. Oh no, there's the test page. That's the first one with the colour palette test page. And these are done in glitter pens. Those are Pentel, I think, because the glitter is a different colour to the pen. Okay, now we are moving on to Magical Jungle. This was where the order got a bit confused. I wasn't quite sure where Christmas came, but we're in the jungle now. I did a bit of pen on that one, I think. It didn't really come out very well, but I was just playing. I like this, this looks nice. Now, I'm on my third copy of Magical Jungle, but one of them, my third copy, I'm doing just pictures that are tutorials that I've copied other people's tutorials, followed them, copied them sounds a bit wrong, followed them. I'm keeping a list of who I'm following so that I know. Some of the tutorials have actually disappeared off YouTube now, which is a shame, but I'm just having a go. It's a nice way for me to learn, and copying someone else, it gives me some insight for when that's done with Bambino crayon. It gives me some insight as to what it's like to follow a tutorial, so that when I'm doing my own, I can either pick up tips or do things differently. Usually I tend to notice the things that, this is an American copy, it's got loose pages, because the American books didn't used to have sewing on them. They were just glued, and these are coming off. It's because I won this copy in a competition, and so I didn't choose. I would normally choose to buy a UK edition, partly because I'm in the UK, it's what I buy, but also because they don't fall apart. But as I say, I won this one. It was a competition run by Stedler, and the prize was a copy of Magical Jungle, which I already had one, and you had to colour a page, and I actually coloured one in the book, not this one because this is the one I won obviously, and you had to colour a page, and it was a download as well, so anyone could take part and submit it, and I won a set of Ergosoft, the 36 tin, which was quite new, and some pens, triplus pens, and it was all in a really nice box, which unfortunately got squished. I'm not sure how, but anyway, it happens, doesn't it? But I still remember winning. I do remember when the parcel came, and I was so excited because it had my prize in. Just experimenting with a bit of distress ink there. I think one of these pages is missing out the back here. Oh no, there it is. I thought the flamingo one was missing, but it's not. There we are. There's Magical Jungle. Now we're going to Ivy. Now Ivy is a longer book, but a smaller book. Again, no cover colouring, just once we get here. Yeah, I'm no good at writing my name in the book. It's just not my thing. So some people ask me about my colouring story, how I got into colouring, how I got into YouTubing. This might be a good opportunity to tell that story while I'm flipping through the books. So when my children were toddlers, and we were at Gloucester Services on a trip, some road trip, travelling down the motorway, and we stopped at Gloucester Services, and I was just browsing amongst the books. We were stretching our legs, basically we'd grab something to eat, we were just having a little wander. The boys were looking at toys with their dad, and I had a look at the books, and I found Secret Garden by Johanna Basford in there. Never seen a sort of adult colouring book before. I think at the time it was the only one that existed. And I was just fascinated by how beautiful it was. This was a Chris Cheng tutorial that I followed for that one. And so I showed it to my husband, and he went, "You need to buy it." And I went, "But I won't colour in it." You know, I said, "I've never done any." And he was just got into art himself. He was like, "Oh, you should." And I was like, no. So I didn't buy it because I'm always a bit reluctant to spend money. So I didn't. I've just noticed, look, that bit hasn't been coloured in. And so I put it back, but I remembered her name. And so when I got home, I looked her up. I found her blog. I found her free colouring downloads for Secret Garden. She was saying that she was about to release a new book called Enchanted Forest. And I printed off the downloads and coloured them in, and that made me decide I wanted the book, and I knew I would colour it because I enjoyed the download so much. So I got the book and I pre-ordered Enchanted Forest, and that's where it all started really. Now the actual videos comes from much later, I guess. I wanted to I used to follow videos, watch colouring videos, Peter Hewitt, Colour with Claire, Chris Cheng, that sort of thing. But there, my husband had some Virgin Experience vouchers, and one of them was a colouring course. And I said, "Oh, can I have that?" Because he wasn't sure what to do with his vouchers and things like that. And he said, "Oh, yeah, you can," because they'd added indoor activities because of it being locked down and things like that. So I ordered this course and I followed it, and I was so disappointed. The camera angles, you were looking over her shoulder from really far away, so you couldn't actually see what she was doing. Half the course was drawing, not colouring, and then the colouring part was watercolour pencils, and there was just a very minimal amount of colour. And I was so disappointed. I thought I could do better than that. I'm sure I could. So I thought and thought and thought and got very scared and was like, how can I do this? So the first thing I did was, I think it was some blackberries that I coloured. Didn't speak, coloured them on camera, muted the sound. I was too scared to talk, you know, and did it like that. And then I became a little bit braver, and Helen Elliston had just brought out one of her colorist special effects books, and I messaged her and I said, would you mind if I did a flip through for my new colouring channel? And she was like, no, that's fine. So I did that, but I thought she might watch it because I've asked her, so I need to speak. So I spoke. I was really nervous, but I spoke. This is based on a picture by Ness Butler, Forest Girl Colouring or something like that. And so I recorded that one, and then I just really got into it. Did flip throughs of my books that I had, and it just went from there really. And it grew quite quickly at the beginning, the channel. It's much slower now because I was in a colouring group at the time which allowed you to self-promote. So I was able to tell people that had videos. So they watched and quickly subscribed and things like that. So it grew quite quickly. So that was very encouraging. And that meant that I just carried on. But I also really enjoy it, you know. It's I find it very relaxing. It sort of encourages me to do things that I might not have done otherwise. That background, it's not that good, but it was very daring of me to try. No, I think this might be my original copy. No, this is my only copy of Wonderful Flowers that I finished, that's right. I haven't finished my second copy yet. I was going to start trying to work on it, and then I thought, because we've got Wonderful Wildflowers coming out soon by Johanna Basford, I felt that maybe I should leave flowers for a bit, maybe work on my Worlds of Wonder or my Small Victories instead, my second copies of those, so that I'm not doing flowers all the time, so that I don't get bored of flowers, because you know it can get a bit samey, and then I'll be right in the mood for doing her new ones. My next book that I'm going to show you is How to Draw Inky Wonderlands. I think it's in the wrong order. I got a bit confused as to the order of these. So there isn't so much colouring in it, but I thought I would just show you anyway, because I feel like it's still one of Johanna's main books, which is what I'm trying to show you right now. Now, if I'm going too fast, you can look at the full flip throughs if you wish to. I'm just doing it quickly so that you get a quick flip sort of thing. The idea isn't to try and show you too much detail. So this one really will be quick, because there's a lot of pages that don't have a lot in, because they're sort of drawing pages. Now, I can't draw very well. I had a go, and I was pleased I had a go, but it wasn't for me. And I know Johanna was sort of keen that we would all have a go and enjoy drawing, and I thought, well, this is going to be really good because it will help me to know how to do the bits in Secret Garden where you have to do your own drawing or do backgrounds and things. But her instructions are excellent, but my enthusiasm wasn't. So yeah, I just enjoy colouring in all the pictures, so even like a little ladybird there, things like that, that's what I did here. I've got no idea. I think I doodled on those and then didn't colour. Anything that I doodled, I didn't feel like I wanted to colour afterwards, or anything that I drew, I didn't then want to colour. So I tended to only colour things that I hadn't drawn. So I drew some of that, I think. Did I? Yes, I can see, yeah. Or doodled on it maybe rather than drew. So then I didn't want to, and this one was a doodling one as well, I know. So then I didn't want to colour it in. And same as here. I drew these fish at the top and I didn't then want to colour them. I did draw and colour these though. And drew the boats. The boats I found a little bit easier. And I doodled those fish. And yeah, I did draw those, that one, and a bit of doodling on that one. But yeah, I drew these things. I'm not, you know, my lines are very wobbly, and I think that is just because of a lack of practice, and I could definitely improve that by practicing. But I just didn't feel happy, relaxed. It wasn't my thing. Here, look, I started really small and I just got bigger because I just wanted to get it done. Like doing these, but yeah, as I say, it just wasn't, you know, it isn't really my thing. But I admire those people who do have a go. I sometimes look at colouring book pages and think, why person are you working in a colouring book when you're so amazing? You could just be drawing your own or producing your own artwork that you could sell and frame. You know, some people's work is just super stunning. But and I know that if I, instead of colouring as much as I do, like every day for hours, if I drew that long, I could probably get much better. Well, I would. I mean, there's no probably about it. It's just not what I wanted to do. Even my owl looked a little bit strange. And my birds. But never mind. It's I had a go. And then we have 30 Days of Creativity. Now in this book I actually did one video a day for the 30 days to try and inspire people to have a go. So I finished this book actually very quickly. I coloured in there, look at all that. Oh, I like these borders. She does them quite a lot, doesn't she, in her books? Pretty. So yeah, some of the cups I didn't really draw on or do anything very much. I preferred the pages where there was colouring. Some of these, as I say, I did sort of, like this one, you know, it's just like, I drew some random flowers. Like that page. And all the candies were fun. I just stuck something there. That's actually washi tape. I stuck a load of washi tape and then I drew a circle and cut it. I think I tried to draw something underneath and I didn't like it, so I stuck some washi tape on top. That goes to show what my drawing's like. And these, I didn't decorate the balloons, I just coloured them in really plain. They were supposed to make patterns. I did try and draw a cake. That one is in glitter pen. And I did all these in different ways. I enjoyed doing these little underwater ones. See, it's interesting because Lost Ocean I found quite daunting, but little underwater designs like those I really enjoy doing. So it's interesting. I think it's to do with the amount of detail. Well, there's my recipe. I cheated and just printed it out. Quite like this page with all the little stamps on. Yes, again, cheating. Just coloured something in. Printed something off and stuck it on. And my ice cream looks a bit strange. I do enjoy colouring fruit though. Yeah, I just did a little bit of doodling. Again, not really. Some people love it. Not me. I think that's on the planner as well, that picture. Now, more colouring now, so I was a bit happier. And I didn't doodle on those, I just coloured them in. I thought if I doodled on them I wouldn't colour, so I'd rather colour them. So that's what I decided to do. These were Christmassy style. Again, quote cut out because I wasn't confident enough just to write it in. And there we have the end. All these done in glitter. Next we have, back to a proper book. So we have Worlds of Wonder. This is probably my favourite of Johanna's, I would say. It's hard to pick a favourite though, isn't it? That's a list of all the pens, different pencils and pens I used on different pages, but I went through that in my slow flip through. I'm not going to do that here, we're just going to do a quick one. So, well, we've been quite a long time as it is. I didn't want to make this like an 8-hour video. I thought I'd keep it quick, and then if you want to see more detail, listen to what pencils I used and a bit more feedback about the different pages, then you can go back and watch the slower version. I've done that much better on a planner page. And in the new version. I remember doing this because I think Johanna did a coloured one on a sort of one of her videos, Inky Art School or something, and I posted it after, and I think she liked it. And I was like, oh, Johanna liked it. It's exciting, isn't it? Oh yeah, the cakes, all videos. Oh, I did a tutorial on how to do bricks. So a lot of the houses have got bricks because I worked out how to do them. And on how to do galaxy skies. I love colouring vegetables. More bricks and stones and all sorts of effects going on. That one was quite plain and simple. That was one of the first ones I coloured in this book, I think. Oh, I copied an idea by Barbara Colour for that one. Yeah, I think these were videos. I've done these so many times because they were a free download in Johanna's Flourish book. I love them. That particular, those birds, they're just so pretty. Yeah, I've redone quite, I can hear my son singing. Redone quite a few of these in my new version, not this one. This one's quite daunting, isn't it? This double page. But it's the only one with lots of detail. There aren't that many double pages in here, I don't think. In fact, I think her newest book hasn't got, has it got one double page? Some people I know miss the double pages, they want more. But I have to say that I was quite happy without having quite so many. But it's each to their own, isn't it, really, when it comes to that sort of thing. These are all quite plain and simple, and I rather liked them for that, the way they were drawn, so you didn't feel you had to always put a background in, or if you did, it was just a small amount of background. I mean, that one just had this, you know, it's, I liked that a lot, you know. I think it gave me a freedom to not have to feel I had to put a background in every single time. And there is a glitter pen back page. It seems to be a bit of a habit of mine, doesn't it? Right, we have Rooms of Wonder. Now, Rooms of Wonder was, I think, after Lost Ocean, was probably Johanna's most daunting book, with for small details, little tiny details and objects. So many objects. I mean, that was so small. All these objects, and I found those very daunting, but I've worked out a method. So you just do that bit, then you do that bit, then you do that bit, or you do the background first and the big shapes, and then you just work slowly, methodically through each little bit, and it makes it easier. I think that was the whole series. I did one video for each of those items. That makes it easier too. These were colour cube cards, could give me a colour palette, so that made it easier. You know, again, we've got a lot of limited colour palettes to make it easier to cope with. There are a lot of these rooms in next year's weekly planner, and because I do a video of every page from the weekly planner, one a week, I will have to be tackling them. That's going to be fun. Oh, lots of objects on shelves. I mean, I think if you like variety, you're not going to like a page like this because it's a repeating wallpaper pattern. And the objects on shelves type pages, or this sort of thing, is going to really appeal to you. But I just tried to do, I did a few different colour palettes for those. I like doing fruit. So it's it depends what you like, doesn't it? This is a planner page I've already done, and it's going to be in, it's one in next year's as well. I think that one I've done in a planner and the here. So try to make those look metallic. It's a little bit different. Just trying to find different ways sometimes to deal with the page. I've just recently done this one in a planner page. I think these were all videos, or each individual piece of clothing. I enjoy these repetitive patterns. Sorry, can't speak. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes I do. So if I'm in the right mood, I can go and have a go at those, and that's really good fun. Metallic pencils on that page and that page. Lots of metallics. And that page. It's all, I think it's because they were sort of old shiny objects. I thought metallics would look good. And then this was a series of videos. This was a series of videos. I did these Halloween-y time, which was good. The owl post. It's great fun. My son was studying geology at the time of me doing that one. I think everyone fell in love with that one. The musical instruments were interesting. I never did manage to identify all of them, though. I love this page, the geranium. I love geraniums. I've got one. It's a sad sight. but you know. And then a sparkly page at the back again. Next we have Small Victories, so a much smaller book. Oh, we've got a page in there as well. I did do the inside of the cover on this one. I think because there was less colour and it was all quite small, hence the name. I felt more like just going for every bit, colouring in every bit. I found this book really good for videos. I've just made one with these, I think. Yeah, but in my new version. Because there's lots of small things which make great little quick videos. I think the fish were. I'm not sure now. And I kept these all the same. I find building sometimes I'm uninspired. But I found some new ways lately to do buildings. So it's not that I don't enjoy colouring them, it's that I'm never quite sure what colour to colour them. So I'm trying to be a bit more daring, should we say, experimental, a bit more fun with them. And it's working. That's in next year's planner. I can't wait to have a go at that. It's so cute. Whoops. Yeah, I did loads of videos from this book. There were so many opportunities to do little videos, little things like all of these, for example. And I think I did these vines, but I can't remember. It might be from the new book. Yeah, so many small. I mean, that's the idea. And of course, her new book coming out in March called Inklings is going to be very similar to this one. It's going to be this size, and we assume it's going to be smaller designs like this one is. So that's exciting. And she also has in February some affirmation cards coming out, which I'm really looking forward to, because I love anything like that, positive affirmations, that sort of thing. I don't tend to buy things like that, but of course it's Johanna's, so you know, you have to. I buy everything of hers. I've got, you know, well, I didn't used to. I've got her tote bag and pencil case. I haven't got the pencil wrap. I haven't got any of her candles. I don't buy the month by month calendars. I've got one of those and it was very daunting to colour, so I don't have those. But you know, most of her things, and the affirmation cards just seem right up my street. So last book to do is Magical Worlds. Now probably not many people have finished this one, but yeah, I did. I've got a second copy already because someone asked me to do some tutorials from it, and I had to buy one to do it from, which was the same as reason I bought another copy of Small Victories, because I had a commission to do a video, so I bought the book. But I don't mind. It's lovely to support Johanna. I'm sure she makes very little per book, but also you know, I don't mind colouring her books more than once. Whereas there are some people that I wouldn't necessarily feel the same way about. But I'm usually happy. There aren't many of her pictures I wouldn't want to colour again. So that's good. These are so recent. I haven't long finished that one. But it would be not. I don't like the way I coloured those. I really want to have another go, and I can. So it's really nice. That's why I like having two copies. But I know not everyone can afford to do that, or you prefer to have a range of different authors. Have I missed a page out there? No. Which is absolutely fair. And some people aren't always keen on all of Johanna's ideas. I've heard people say this was rather samey. I think there were similar pictures into other books, but I felt that was good. Because, you know, her style is developing and changing. You know, this is very different to Secret Garden and Enchanted Forest, but might be similar to her last few books. But then as time goes on, she'll develop new ideas and new things and style, you know. I mean, these flowers are, you know, typical what she might have done right from the beginning, but often she used to draw a little outline around a flower, which she doesn't really do anymore. She's done it here, but that's because I think that's supposed to be a geranium. So styles are changing, and I think that's good. It gives us something different to try, you know. And as you can see again in this one, I haven't done a great load of backgrounds, only where it seems to be required. Like in this sort of spread, I didn't want to leave the planets without a background. I had loads of fun. Chroma Flow pencils, I didn't know they were capable of looking like that, but there you go. So yes, if you do want to know what pencils I used on which page, watch the full-length videos, especially for the more recent books, and I will tell you that's what these bits of paper I've been throwing out are. They're a list of the pencils. So there we are. That's all of my completed Johanna books. I hope that was inspiring and that you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and happy colouring.